Well, boys, it had to happen sooner or later. Someone got so mad that they decided to go after my channel, my livelihood, my everything, with one of the dumbest things possible, a false copyright strike, which is double the hilarity. Now, before we start, I do have to say a disclaimer. I do not want anyone contacting, saying anything bad about this person, because yeah, in my personal experience, these people are the most insane, unhinged, and lukewarm temperature IQ individuals that I have had to deal in my entire life. So I need to actually do these disclosure statements before we start. Do not harass them, do not engage with them, do not look them up, and everything I am currently saying and gonna show is fair use and doesn't belong to you because it's at the bare minimum available on public platforms, okay? And I need to say that because just this video going up probably is getting their trigger fingers itchy to just also strike down this video, or at least attempt to. Because, boys, we're gonna get into a lot of things because this is hilarious stupidity. So this video is about Ellie in Video Game Land, and to a degree, her brother, who are both extremely, in my opinion, and I need to say in my opinion, because these people are probably not smart enough that the things I say are statements of opinion, not facts. I'm not trying to represent them as facts. These are my opinions at the end of the day. Ellie decided to copyright strike me because she doesn't like what I said about her. She does not agree with what I said, and she thinks it's lies, she thinks it's slander, she thinks it's bad, and I'm a bad man. And so she decided to do the only reasonable thing and issue, soon in one day, a copyright strike against my channel. Leaking DMs is typically kind of slightly frowned upon, but there is no way to faster get my point across about these individuals being absolute unhinged idiots. Sharing DMs is not illegal in the slightest, Ellie, if you're wondering, because, again, I need to make sure I say this, because she probably doesn't understand this on her own. But yeah, sharing DMs is not illegal. It's not bad. You can't do anything about it because I am one of the two parties involved. Well, actually, three parties because you already your brother knows everything that's written in those DMs, so you technically already have shared them with other people, so they're not private in that sense no longer anyway. They don't expose any personal information about you. They don't put you in danger. They don't show any information about you. They do nothing. It's just about the situation that's currently happening, and you're seeing them right now. So if you stopped and read the DMs, you know that all of this is bull, and that the strike that she's trying to issue upon us is completely misplaced, completely fraudulent, and full of complete and utter malice, most likely. Most likely stemming from the fact that, I mean, these two people are, knock on wood, stupid in my opinion, and have most likely a lukewarm room temperature of IQ. Which is sad, but it is what it is, and we have to interact with these people sometimes. So, if you didn't read it, I'll summarize it for you because I'm a nice guy. They call me a liar who misrepresents her by lying, just blatant misrepresentation, taking out of context. Effectively, this is completely not a fair use issue. This has nothing to do with copyright in the slightest, especially when you have great sentences like, well, I'm mad and DMCA striking you because, well, you didn't watch my full video. Exactly. There is actually outrage that I did not watch her full video and just watched 50% of it. And when someone calls you a liar, and you are not a liar, there is only one reasonable thing for you to do. Is ask for that person to explain, showcase, prove that you are a liar. Because again, it's lying. It's super easy to prove wrong and false if especially you have like a video right in front of you that you can timestamp, you can do excerpts of it, you can quote it, and you can do all these crazy things. And yet, they did not provide any proof, even though they claimed I misrepresent her constantly, I lie constantly, and do all of these things. They completely ignored it. They never tried even to provide a semblance of proof or anything like that, which is obviously hilarious. And they constantly just effectively tried to reiterate that I am a liar, I am misrepresenting her, and all of those things, which doesn't magically become true just because you choose to say it multiple times. That offer is still up, by the way. You can timestamp it, you can react to it, you can do everything to prove that I'm a liar. I mean, if I was in that situation, I would go for it because that is an extremely easy way to grow an audience, to get people, and people are gonna like you for pointing out someone who's being a heinous piece of shit. But that's not obviously happening. Instead, false takedowns are being issued here. Well, granted, they did actually mention something. After the DM conversation, I was done with the situation. It was boring, it was stupid, and I was done. But her brother, turns out, wasn't done in the slightest. And then the second day, he decided to go into my Discord server and drop this absolute masterpiece. And then, considering this is a public server, anyone can join it. And by the way, I'm not going to be posting all of this. There's a lot of it. You can read all of this if you want by just joining the server. You're going to see it. Someone decided from the server to actually interact with him. And then they strike up a conversation. And considering they're not talking to me, but someone who doesn't know everything, they can just lie about things that happen. And here they do bring up things, how I damaged her reputation, how I was evil, lied, and all of these. And this is pretty much it. What they say I did was call her an off girl, this right here, a communist, and that she is jealous of Amaranth and the money she makes. Which, honestly, the jealous of Amaranth thing is the wildest. I can't even find it in my video. I have no idea where she gets that. But everything here is conjecture and pure nonsense anyway. Let's go about the statement that I called her an OF girl. Pretty easy to prove. Extremely wrong. This is the highlighted sentence that they are, I assuming, are talking about. Rip, good luck opening an off account in 2 years. This is the only sentence. This is the only thing with OF and her that has anything to do with it. And this is me effectively. Let me just give you the context because I can't show the video because they're probably gonna strike it instantaneously, right? Because they're idiots. I'm effectively just making fun of her because she's never gonna be successful at what she currently does, and she should honestly just get a normal job, or effectively just, I'm making fun of the fact that, well, she's probably gonna give up on her morals once again and just open up an off account in a year or two anyway when she's desperate because there's nothing else left for her. Not claiming that she has one right now, just making fun of the fact that, hey, maybe she's gonna do it out of desperation. Yes. Ellie and her goddamn stupid brother can't even read basic English. Well, what can I say? Then they claim that I called her a communist. And we can also, it's mentioned only one time, and it is an extremely simple sentence. That was so specifically extremely vague in the direction of communist because and that's pretty much it. You can read the rest if you want, but I can just give you the explanation for this anyway. That is it. That was it. She just said a sentence that I thought, wow, that is almost blatantly, that sounds blatantly communistic to me. And that's it. And that's me calling her a communist by her brother's own admissions. And when I point out these things, they don't interact with me. They completely ignore that I even point them out or anything. It is absolutely insanity. They just ignore all of this. Well, to be fair about the communist thing, her brother is being an idiot. He states the only reason I would ever do that is to call her a communist. That is a vague way to establish that I think she's a communist. I don't care. I didn't even know she's a political YouTuber. I didn't know that even mattered. Okay? And also, my response to that was very specific, extremely vaguely communist. That is the quote. This is the quote he is referring to when saying I called her a communist. And that statement is a lie. It's I didn't call her a communist, dude. What kind of statement? Because every tiny dive into her content shows that she is not a communist. Okay, I mean, again, we're dealing with extremely low IQ people. Exactly, not even the retard should think that that statement calls her a communist, and this person agrees with me. What you said frames her as one, and you can't deny that. I mean, I can just I'll allow you to read this because it's hilariously stupid. But again, we're dealing with extremely insane people here, in my opinion. Obviously, if they want, they can actually just sue me for all of this. Sue me in Europe. There's no problem with that. You know, if you think I misrepresented you that hard, sue me. And I'm saying this because I'm not worried at all. Because of one very simple reason. And the reason why I am not worried in the slightest about this situation is because in Europe, there is already a precedent established for these situations. And one of the most notable ones happened in 2020, and maybe you have heard of it. It was Aquila, obviously, versus Sargon of Akkad. Oh, yes. And, well, this is not the best source, honestly, of what's happened, but you can pause and read it if you want. I will give you kind of the summary of what is happening here and why it happened, but the idea was simple. Sargon of Akkad took a clip of Aquila, obviously, and then cut it up and placed some parts between some other parts and then posted it. And that clip made her look like a complete idiot because it completely twisted her original statement. And she wanted it removed. She didn't like it that it misrepresents her. Ellie, are you following? Because this is almost a 1-for-1 for this situation right here. Okay, so she did a lawsuit based on the MCA and copyright protection. She wanted it gone because she said it broke her copyright because it was not fair use. And fair use matters here a lot. And this situation did not even go to court. The judge looked at this situation and pretty much instantaneously threw it out. And he threw it out with prejudice. And prejudice means that you cannot sue again based on this because it's just that fucking stupid. That's what prejudice effectively means. And the reason why he chose that is very simple. Because Aquila's obviously original clip, the same way yours, Ellie, by the way, because this is a 1-for-1 comparison, is not meant to portray you in a negative light initially. Only after interaction with it do you claim it portrays you in negative light. And it is impossible for this situation to not be fair use, considering you're saying that this clip no longer represents your points. If it no longer represents your points, that inherently means it's transformative. Thus, you are admitting fair use. And this is exactly pretty much what happened in the Aquila, obviously, versus Sargon of Akkad case for copyright and whatnot. So, yeah, good luck with that. And one more really stupid thing that Ellie lies about is the fact that my video damaged her reputation. She's not gonna make it any longer as a creator, guys, because I made that video and it got, well, currently less than 7k views. Oh no, the horror, the shock, the everything. She will never recover, obviously. And she is blaming also me for all the people who are sending hate her way. By the way, I'm gonna show what sending hate her way actually is, and it is as hilarious. But first, we're gonna look at this, and I want you to pay attention to the dates. This is a screenshot from Ellie's Twitter. So this happened on the 30th December, exactly when she released her video, which turns out is a re-release because she already released this video once. And you know what happened when she released it once? Well, this happened. This probably is one of my most hated YouTube videos ever. So of course I re-released it. So this is probably her worst video ever. It's the most hated that she decided to take it off and remove it, and now she decides to re-release it. And this happened in the 30th. Now it's even better because I included clips of when I was the deepest in my depravity of e-girl culture, sharing it with friends, blah blah blah. So she doesn't expect this video to do better this time. She expects this video to be fully hated anyway. And, well, what do you know? Again, she released the video on the 30th. I did my react on the 31st, and I uploaded it pretty late. So almost probably close to 24 hours passed since I uploaded it. So she already knows this is her most hated video. She already knows that it's gonna be hated. She already got bad comments when she posted it on the 30th. That's why she did the original tweet. And then I, on the 31st, did my react of her, and she's blaming me for all the hate. Yeah. Let it make sense. She's just effectively looking for a scapegoat for absolutely anything that she can claw on, to make none of this her own problem, to make none of this her own fault, to make it right in her own mind. This is absolutely pathetic. And by the way, if you're wondering what kind of harassment did I cause her, well, her brother actually decided to give an example of the harassment, and here it is in all of its glory. It's not just gaslighting herself, but also trying to gaslight others that she has the moral high ground. It's like that Dinkley guy complaining about little people in Snow White movies again. Now, this granted is probably a comment taken from my comment section and reposted, but damn, wow, this is some serious stuff, boys. Holy, how do you survive after this? Yeah, no sane person would consider this harassment. Now, obviously, this person is not being happy about the situation. They don't like her video, but damn. To call this harassment, and by the way, this is the only example, obviously, because there's no world where you can actually prove that, there's any harassment happening because of me anyway. Oh, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. In any case, that's the situation. The moment I can actually counter the strike, I am gonna do so on YouTube instantaneously. This is a situation I have been in already 2 times before, by the way. One time with a person who, literally, by the way, Ellie, this is all you needed to fucking do. You needed to ask me to not, I wouldn't have removed the video no matter what you, by the way, say or do or threaten or whatever. But if you would ask me, and by the way, you can still just do it. You can ask me to not react to your things. That is something that I have afforded to every person that asks, and people have asked that 2 times previously. And both of those people did the same thing as Ellie, but they were not unhinged idiots. They just did that and said, "Hey, we're gonna let this go through if you keep reacting to our videos." And then I said, "Okay, I won't." Not that I cared that much. And bam. By the way, one of those people no longer even does YouTube because they were a complete failure, exactly as I said. And the other one still has shitty opinions on the internet. It happens, and they're getting nowhere. Hey, it is what it is. But again, I'm not worried about this situation in the slightest. My YouTube rep, yes, I have a YouTube rep. as probably, well, not actually hard if you know what part of Europe I am, because they are regionally based, and there's not a lot of people who do YouTube here. So it's really easy to get a YouTube rep, by the way, here. And, the YouTube rep said, well, he can't really say anything that's going to happen because it's not his thing, but this most likely is a situation where YouTube is going to instantaneously just say, no, F you, this is completely blatantly a false takedown request. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty fine with it. In any case, thanks for watching. But before we leave, you should probably share this video, just because it's this stupid, honestly, it deserves a share. But the real reason is because obviously these two individuals are extremely unhinged, in my opinion. I mean, they probably can go do a test and get government benefits. But they are, I have a feeling that they most likely have done this previously. Because, this much of an extreme reaction when someone says something even slightly bad about you that you disagree with is wild. And they most likely have done so to other people. And I would like to find these people, because if we get enough people who she has tried to bully, abuse, threaten this way, we can potentially get YouTube to actually act against her. Because the reality currently is they're probably just going to throw this out, and, well, they're going to throw it out on their own terms. But they're probably not going to really do anything too much about this, because this is not a big situation. This is technically nothing. But if we find more people that she has, threatened and so on, YouTube could potentially permanently ban her if it turns out that this is something that she and her brother like to do constantly. So, anyway, bye bye.